Hey, welcome back to a Type R vlog, I suppose. Really, this could apply to a number of hatchbacks, but today I'm going to be installing my Blackview 4K front and rear cameras. Also, because I forgot to mention, I'm going to be showing you how to hardwire your radar detector to the dome lights as well. And what's kind of more difficult about the hatchback is that we have to route the wire in a way where it won't get clamped down pretty much, or pinched, when you're opening and closing the door or the hatch. So I'm just going to use this, and hopefully I can maneuver the wire through and have it come out of here. There's a little door right there that maybe it'll help me. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to fish the line through the headliner. I'm going to be using some, I forget what it's called, but it's like fishing line. It's used to move wires in between, difficult places, or route them through difficult places. You just feed it through and pull. So I'm going to be using that. And yeah, let's see how well it turns out. So this is what I was referring to. It's called steel fish tape, and it just reels in and out, so that way you can use a lot. This is 25 feet, which is more than enough. You can get these at Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store. It's usually in the electrical aisle. It's meant to fish wiring, but we're gonna use it for dashcam wiring. And this is the wiring that came with my dashcam kit, and if you have the Blackview kit, you probably have the same amount. It's pretty long, more than enough to get us from the front windshield all the way back. So yeah, I'm just gonna start pulling the headliner down and fishing this through, and then I'm gonna go to the front seat, pull down the headliner, and see if I can find it. Okay, so we have this weather stripping here, and you can pull down and pull the headliner down, or we can pull this rubber grommet out. Here we are for a better view. You can just pull this rubber grommet out, and hopefully we can fish the wiring in through there. All right, so I got some line through. There's like a little hole inside of there that you want to fish through, and it should put you in between the roof and the headliner. But I'm just gonna keep pushing it through till I think we're at the front of the headliner. All right, I think we may have hit the end of it. So let's go to the front and see what we got. Okay, so I fished the fishing line all the way through, and I pulled the dome lights down. The dome lights are pretty easy to get down. If you don't know, all you gotta do is just, okay, so once you get the fishing line ran through and you want the dome lights to come out, you just gotta kind of pull down. Your headliner is gonna start kind of coming down with it, but that's okay. And then it'll come down, and then there's two of these that require a pretty good amount of pressure to pop off. It's gonna feel like you're gonna break something because you probably didn't know that these are there. But I just put pressure on one side, one will pop out, and then go ahead and put pressure on the other side, and the other side will pop out. Obviously, don't put too much pressure on one side to where you bend the little clip or the little thing, whatever this little pop rivet is. Yeah, don't, just equal pressure alongside, and eventually they will pop out. It's gonna take a little bit of manhandling, but you can get it. Also, if you see these two wires, I don't know if it's too dark in here, but I got two wires that they run to my radar detector. I tap those into the dome light, and that's pretty easy. All you have to do is just the red to red and black to black. This is from a kit that I bought on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description box below so you can see. But now we have the fishing line. This is it right here, and we are going to attach this wire. And hopefully it comes out super easy, because it could snag on something. So make sure you cinch it down really well. Also make sure your line's straight. You don't want it to be all coiled up, so when you go pull, it's gonna be a nightmare. So I'm just gonna use this electrical tape. I'm just gonna take the side that I want in the rear, and I'm going to just tape it around here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but make sure it's straight so that way it goes straight back and it doesn't get caught in anything. And electrical tape's super easy to take off, so it shouldn't be an issue. You could use a zip tie if you want to, but I think electrical tape will be fine. And let's see if I can get it in focus. Okay, so as you can see, we have it electrical taped, and now we just have to pull it back. Again, this is, let me see. So this connector right here with the white is going to be the one for the dome light. There's a blue one right there, that's not for the dome light. And there's a red and black wire. If you get the kit for the radar kit, it's gonna be red and black. So red to red, black to black. It's that easy. All right, so now we're just gonna start pulling back. Nice and smooth. Oof. And there we go. That was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, now we just got to cut the electrical tape. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is try to get it through this rubberish conduit, and next get it out of there so that way we can put it on the camera. It's probably gonna be a little difficult, or it might be super easy. It's never in between. I went ahead and pulled this part of this rubber conduit thing down, and I'm gonna reuse the steel fishing line because trying to get this wiring up, it's not working out. So with the steel one, it doesn't bend as easily as the line does. So if we can get enough line. Okay, so that's down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and electric tape this again. Okay, so it's electric tape now. We can start slowly working it through. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pop this little panel out. I really didn't want to use a flathead, but that was way easier with a flathead. Okay, so behind this panel is where the little water hose is for the sprayer for the back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed this steel fishing line this way, and hopefully I can see it come out on the other end, which is not currently working for me. All right, so this plan is not gonna work because every time I fish it through, it wants to curve up because of this panel. So I'm gonna take off the top panel and try and get the wire to come out through this edge somehow. I failed to mention, if you want to know how to take the back panel off, go check out my previous video on upgrading the rear. It's where I did the wiper delete. It's the exact same process. I'll link it probably right here. Yeah, I'll link it right there. Okay, so I pulled this panel down, and I'm fishing the fishing wire this way, and I'm gonna pull up the line up through here, and then I have an idea of how I'm gonna get it to come up through there. So the next clip you're gonna see is just gonna be the wire up here. Okay, that was pretty easy. Okay, so now the goal is going to be to fish this up through here and then pull the wire back. So let's see if that works out the way I think it will in my head. There it is. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but it's out right here. I'm going to tape it and then pull it back this way. So the challenge is going to be, hopefully it doesn't get stuck on the way down. Oof. Wow, I'm surprised at how well that worked out. Okay, so it's been a couple days later because it was getting late, but you didn't really miss anything. All I did was put all the paneling back to the way it was. I didn't bother showing you because it's pretty easy, just go in reverse order. So as you saw, the way that I routed everything, it made it all very clean, going through the headliner, through that little conduit, and to the hatch. And I just put the little panel back on. You could drill a hole on that little panel if you wanted to and feed the wire through. I think I might do that. I don't like the way that it's pinched, but the cameras work as is, no issues. And yeah, all that's really left to do is that if I want to run this battery bank, I have to wire in its power supply. And what sucks is that I have a radar detector in the car already, hardwired into the dome lights for the driver and passenger. But I was thinking about possibly hardwiring it to the dome lights that go to the rear. I don't know yet. I don't even know if I want to run this battery bank because it's a pain. And I'm not gonna do it in this video. I'm gonna keep figuring out how I wanna do this. But if you wanted to actually put it into the dome light, it would be a red and black. You can get these little attachments from, I had spares from the kit that I used for my radar detector. I'll leave it down in the description box below so you can take a look. And then you can just tap these straight onto your dome light. Now, you don't have to do that. You could tap straight into the fuse box that's underneath the steering wheel. That's another option. There's different taps for that. But if you want to do the dome light, I'll show you which wires you have to do real fast. It's pretty easy. The dome light connector actually has a red and black wire, which makes marking these power wires for battery bank super easy. Just put red to red and black to black, and you can power your battery bank, or you can power your cameras depending on how you're going to hardwire it. So let's get inside the car and I'll show you those wires. Here is the little dome light assembly thing, and all you got to do is just pull down very carefully and it comes down. Now there's going to be two little clips that hold it in, and all you got to do is just apply some pressure, and then it comes out like that very violently. Oy. All right, and as you can see, I already had the radar detector plugged in or hardwired in, and this is going to be the connector for the dome lights. As you can see on here, there's a red, a black, and a white wire. So red is going to be power, black's going to be ground. Take your red and your black leads and then just insert it to the back. That's how it is. I use these little ones again inside of that kit that I'll link down below for you for a radar detector, and it'll connect to these two. And yep, just plug it back in and you'll see that the radar detector will come on. It's pretty straightforward. This is what the cable looks like for the radar detector. And yeah, I have to use these little attachments because these are too big to fit back there. You might be able to fit them back there, but this also makes the wiring a little bit longer, so I like it. Okay, so I have the taps in for the dome lights, and I'm going to plug in my radar detector and then plug in these, and you can already see that the radar detector already has power without the car being on. Now, don't worry too much about that because it's gonna turn off as soon as you lock the doors. So we just slide this back in and it goes right back in, not a problem. So if we close the doors, just so I have some proof for you. And there you go. Once your doors are closed and locked, it'll take power away. And once you open the doors without even turning on the car, it'll come right back on for you. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope that this was able to help you guys with your cable management and how to power your stuff in your really any hatchback Civic. It's gonna be probably the exact same. I don't see why it would be any different. If you have a sedan, just route it through your headliner. Obviously, that's gonna be the easiest way for you. Just pull it down and fish it out. I'm gonna leave everything that I use down in the description box below. I hope this helped you. Please, if you have any feedback, just leave it down in the comment section below. Tell me how I should wire my battery bank and where I should put the battery bank, because right now, I don't even know if I want it. I do plan on hardwiring the battery probably to the back dome light, since the front dome light is already taken up by the radar detector. I just got too many things that are wired up. But anyhow, thanks again for supporting. If you're new here and you like this video, smash the like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Also, before you leave, and if you're new here or if you just haven't caught up, check out my previous video right here, and see you later. Also, don't forget to put your 2 black screws back in the hatch whenever you remove that panel, like I did. And I've been riding around like that for a couple days now.